Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. I'm Wayne Highlander, National Sales Manager for Bona Adhesives.
And I'm Rob Johnson from Bona Training, who almost forgot what I was supposed to say.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that? There was a little,
you carried
lag there.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So this episode is going to be kind of a short episode, but we want to, this is going to come out around Thanksgiving and maybe a day before Thanksgiving. And so we, Rob, as you get older, Rob, you start being, I think, either one of two things are going to happen. You're either going to be more grateful for things in life or more ticked off about things in life. And I hope you the former, not the latter. I know that. I know you.
You know me.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying
Mr. Glass is half full right here.
Yes. Yeah. Me too.
Drives my wife crazy.
Yeah. So Thanksgiving is coming, and first of all, we have a list of things that we're thankful for. But one thing I want to say that I really hope this time of year and through the holidays that our listeners get to have some time off with their family. Contractors and hardwood floor people and salespeople in this industry and retailers, they work very, very hard. It's been a trying couple of years. And even for the folks that had a fantastic year this year, it's still trying because it's out of sorts, right? I mean, it's completely, out of the norm, what's happened with the pandemic and everything. So we know how hard everybody works out there, and we hope that they've had a good year, or at least they have a chance where they can be with their family, or be without their family, as long as that makes you happy, and spend some quality time and pat yourself on the back for getting through another year, and surviving in as an entrepreneur or in a small business, and that you're doing something that most people cannot do. Most businesses don't last past 5 years, and so to be in an industry like the flooring industry that really I see is a huge upside right now. I mean, we talk about the advances it's made in the last number of years. That we hope that everybody has a great holiday season, and it's really, really, truly, I hope more than anything you take a chance, take the time to pat yourself on the back and be grateful for yourself, that you put food on the table for your family, that you work hard and all these things, and you're providing for other people. And so I would hope that you're thankful for that, because I am for you. So, and then Rob and I have some things that we're thankful for. So I've seen your list. It's a weird list, I might say. But
what did you expect if it was my list?
Yeah, it's a little weird. But go ahead. You want to shoot?
Well, you're talking about how hard our guys work. I definitely think it's one of the toughest trades out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you and I have been in the floor business all our life, right? The wood floor business all our life. We know everything is hot, heavy, loud. The hours are crazy. I mean, everything about it, And the one thing that I always loved about Thanksgiving was, and Pete and I know I've told this story before, Pete and I, for some reason, always managed to do a coat every Thanksgiving morning. No matter where we were working, we could always do a coat Thanksgiving morning. And it was almost like a holiday break during work. It never really bothered us. Some people, you could think, oh my God, like so let's say you're a toll booth operator and you got to work Thanksgiving. That's shit. Or I can't say that.
Use that word.
That's a crappy, right?
Yeah.
That's a crappy day. But for some reason, working with Pete Thanksgiving morning, we would get up early, go put that coat on, and just in a great frame of mind. I don't know if it was because you're going to get a couple day break as a floor guy or something, but man, we always felt good about just getting that coat on. We'd stop, get flowers for the wives, and be home by 10:30, 11 o'clock. it was always a great feeling. And I think one of the reasons was Christmas can sometimes be a little stressful. You know, you're going to get the Christmas break and everything, but you know, there's a lot going into Christmas, decorating, presents, kids, you know, and trying to run your business and all that stuff. Where I always thought Thanksgiving was just like a good time for a floor guy to pump the brakes, have a nice meal, take it easy, watch a little football, whatever you do on that holiday. Pump the brakes before the real craziness starts, you know, in another month or so. So that's what I always just loved about Thanksgiving. And like I said, Pete and I always had our little thing where and we get coffee and a bagel and go coat a floor. It was, I don't know, goofy, but I always look forward to it. I
You
don't know
say,
if Pete did. I'll have to ask Pete if he looked as much forward to
Mhm.
it as I did, you know.
You talked about how hard they work and people work in this industry, and you know, I recognize that there are also other trades out there that are also very labor intensive. You know, sometimes people bring up roofers. That roofers work is harder than floor work. When I say that it's a hard trade, I don't just mean that it's hard, you know, labor wise. It's hard also mentally and what have you, because um, nobody's up on a roof, to my knowledge, staring at every single tile on the roof. You know what I mean? They're not walking on it. They're not, you know, on their hands and knees looking how the light's going to hit it a certain way. And for most other trades, they're not dealing with a living, breathing entity. You know, hardwood floors. I mean, while they're not alive like people say they are, but they are. They do have the ability to take in moisture and let go of moisture. They're hygroscopic. They change seasonally. So all these things add to the stress level of the business. So there's a lot of components that I think that really make this one of the, you know, you start off in this building a floor with, like you said, it's loud saws and banging and hammer, and it's very, very physical. And you have to use all those skills and all those uh, you know, attributes to putting a floor down. And then the very last thing you do is very, very delicate touches, you know, feathering, you know what I mean? And vacuuming and tacking. And it's a delicate, I have very delicate eye to catch everything. So there's a lot of components that goes into a beautiful floor job.
Yeah,
So yeah,
you know, when you're just talking about when you're saying that, it just hit me that a floor guy is almost like a framer and a finished cabinet maker.
Mm.
You know what I mean? He's like you said, banging around and long, but then in the end, he's also got to do. You know, it's not one or the other. He usually has to do both.
yeah. Well, and then, you know, you're then putting a sheen on your work. You know, say, hey, let me draw attention to every single detail of the job by putting a finish on it that has a
Right.
sheen level. You know, like,
Colors, textures,
yeah.
finishes, sheens. Oh, it's
If you look at
crazy. Yeah.
how many choices decisions are made before that floor is done from start to finish, it's amazing. I mean, really, if you think about, you know, going over the type of floors, the colors, the texture, the design, the where you're going to lay the floor. Let's get all that out of the way. Let's get the cost figured out. Let's add the other addendum products that go along with it. And then by the way, now let's look at the job site. Look at the subfloor. What needs to be done to the subfloor before we even touch the floor? How about the relative humidity? How about the moisture before we even bring the floor in, before we even get that done? And then, by the way, let's install the floor, put it on the schedule. That is, you know, how fickle the schedule could be sometimes with people moving the schedule around and what have you. Then let's deal with employees. Let's deal with all that encompasses those, which is the insurance and all the other things that you know, and personalities and whatever, and their needs and wants and desires. And then let's put this floor down, and then do all that goes into the floor, and then everything else that comes along with it, the sanders, the stains, and picking out products and those type of things. There's a hell of a lot of work that goes into a hardwood floor. I mean, a tremendous amount of work. The craftsmen today are very special people. I think. I mean, like I said, not all. This isn't made for everybody. It's too damn hard for most people. To be quite honest with you, it's a very rewarding career and line of industry, but it is a very, very hard job. So be thankful for yourself to get through all this. As Thanksgiving coming on, And yes, you're going to be thankful for a lot of things, but I really hope people
Take a break, pump the brakes, pat yourself on the back, enjoy a couple of days with family and friends, however you celebrate. Absolutely.
Yep. So things that you're grateful for.
Things that we're thankful for. Now, I sat down and I was like, all right, what am I thankful for? Well, blah, 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 my wife, blah, 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 my children and grandchildren. Yeah, of course you're thankful for that. I really wanted to look at things that I'm I look back and I'm really thankful for. Now don't get me wrong, I could sit here and just, like I said, family, but everybody has that. So number one on my list, my first car. I'm very thankful for my first car. My first car I bought for $200. It was a 67 Chevelle with an 8-cylinder 283. We put headers on it, the whole deal, hood scoops. I mean, when I got it, it was, kind of banged up. I really didn't fix the body or anything. We just kept souping it up and jacking it up and put truck springs in it. And I had Krager mag wheels on one side and Keystone mag wheels on the other side. And so you really, that was the smartest thing I think I ever did, was put Kragers and Keystones. Everything, of course, we bought used and out of junkyards and everything, but that was a great first car. So that's one of the things I'm thankful for. My first car, 67 Chevelle. Damn, I love that car. I wanted to sleep in it the first night that I got it.
Really? Yeah. Well, that was a hot car at the time. This is going to sound corny, man, because I'm maybe not that guy, but if you ask me what I'm grateful for, is living in this country. I was fishing in the Smoky Mountains not long ago, and looking around, and there was a fall type of time where the leaves were still changing, and you look around, and you got to take these moments and realize, holy smokes, man, this is awesome. This land that we live in. And then last week I was up in Trinity in California, Trinity Lake, way up in the mountains, another part, a whole different landscape altogether. And I got to spend time fishing with an old friend who I'm very grateful for as well, I should say. But just look around at the beautiful landscape of this country and how it changes from area to area, how the New Yorkers are so different from the people down in Charleston, South Carolina versus people in California. And they're all different and they're all pretty damn cool. And so I'm very grateful for that. I know it sounds corny, but it's true. I mean, I do take the time, believe it or not, to look around and appreciate what I got. So
I thought we were gonna do like a fun list.
I know. I feel bad now because now
like,
yours look so cheap now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like an idiot with mine. Thanks, buddy. Well, you know what? We'll just keep going. I'm going to keep going. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
That could be pretty funny. Okay. I just come up with really stupid ones.
Mine was so good. I was embarrassed.
And then you're writing poems.
Yeah. So no, but don't.
All right.
Don't
well, you know what? Let's stick with that for a second.
Do your second one.
No, I'm not going to do a second one. I'm going to talk about what you were just talking about. Okay. Living in this country.
You just threw your list away, didn't you?
And no way. I'm going through it.
Okay.
One way or the other, we're going through it. No matter how dumb it sounds compared to your list. But last week I did a training at Stouts in Oxford, Mississippi.
Yep.
Okay. And I've never been to Mississippi. It was my first time in Mississippi. Now, I'm born and raised in Boston, live in New York. I was not expecting the Mississippi that I thought. Okay. I was expecting just a lot of rural farm type people. You know what I mean? I was I couldn't have been more surprised on how beautiful it was. Mm-hmm. And how like new everything was. It was like it didn't look like anything was over 20 years old. I mean, what an absolute beautiful town. We went downtown one night for supper. I mean, I couldn't have been more shocked. People, awesome people, right? I mean, just the best. And they love teasing New Yorkers and stuff like that. So I had a lot of fun with that crew down there. It was a great crew at Stouts too. I want to give a shout out to those guys. But man, oh man, just for what I thought Mississippi was going to be like, and then what it turned out to be, I mean, was just a 180 for me. I just couldn't believe it. I thought to myself, when we went downtown and, you know, they had some of the Christmas stuff up, and I mean, it looked like, you know, it looked like a painting. You know, I was just, the whole time I'm thinking, geez, I wish Pauline was here. She'd have loved this. And I never, ever would have thought that of Mississippi. But you learn something new every week, man.
Oxford, Mississippi has probably the most quintessential Southern town square that there is. It is a beautiful, beautiful town square. And you know, William Faulkner's there's a couple of the famous writers that came out of Oxford, Mississippi.
Yes, somebody was telling me that. There was a couple of guys.
Yeah, a couple of guys. Yeah. I happen to love that town. And if you want really, really good Southern cooking, soul food cooking, really good cooking, on the square, there's a restaurant that serves that. And I'll tell you a story on the Stouts floors. I was talking to him a while back, years ago, and he said, you know, you ought to come down here if you like fishing. You should come down here. We could go for crappie fishing. We got one of the best crappie lakes in America here. I said, wow, man, it's no kidding. You got my attention. He goes, yeah, you don't need a boat. I made special boats for them. They're almost like canoes, but they're a little bit different. And they're great for crappie fishing. I said, oh man, I'm all in. That I'll have to make a point of coming back. Because yeah, the crappie get around these buck trees that are in the lake. Now you got to be careful about the water moccasins because they hang around the buck trees and you know, they're aggressive. They'll come after you. And I said, I'm completely out. I don't want any part of that. I have no desire to do that. As I love fishing more than probably most people on this planet, but being water moccasins that are, by the way, are aggressive. No, I don't think so. All right. I almost hate to say this next one. But I am very grateful for my wife. I mean,
we did that.
I know. We
said that at the beginning of the show.
No, what show?
This show.
Our wives?
The whole family, wife, blah 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 stuff.
No, you said that.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
Go ahead.
All right. So be embarrassed because I hope Pauline listens to this. I never blah 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 my wife, Pauline.
Well, she heard me. She's listening. She's right outside the door here.
All right.
She's listening to everything. So
yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
I don't think God put a better human being on this earth than my wife. And I mean that. I swear every time I go and I meet other people and I meet other women and what have you. And
when you're traveling, meeting all those other women that you talk to.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always come back and say, man, I'm glad I married my wife, Judy. I think she is the best human being on this earth. So
how long you guys have been married?
39 years.
Oh, yeah. You got us beat.
Yeah. So go ahead. You go next. What is it? Popcorn this time that you're grateful for?
Oh, it's my wife. Oh, definitely my wife. Actually,
you can't use your wife.
Like I said, no, I'm not gonna. I already said, you know, of course I'm most grateful for my family and my wife and everything. But I will go, if you're gonna talk about it, I'm very grateful for Pauline's Hair. I know weird. When you said, oh, I got you and I have the same one on our list.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, oh yeah, I like Pauline's Hair too. So yes, I'm a hair guy. People know that. And as weird as it sounds, I am very grateful. 62 years old and she's still killing it, man. It looks great. So I'm grateful for that.
Just the hair, huh?
And very shallow.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
told you the beginning of the show, the whole yeah, blah blah. The kids, of course, they're number one on the list. But I thought, we do. What's your? I can't wait to hear your next one. It's probably poetry or what's your
Don't
next
be
one?
don't be ridiculous. Puppies and kittens. No, I'm kidding. But something makes me. You know what?
Puppies and kittens.
No, I'm kidding about that. Really,
You're
but
a sucker. You know what? I know you try to portray yourself as this hard fighting, knock down, drag out, been beat up, kicked all over the world, but you're a sucker for pets, aren't you?
oh yeah,
You are a
I
sucker
I
for.
I
You're a
I,
sucker for a dog on the side of the road. You are stopping, aren't you?
I can't believe God strike me dead. I can't believe you said that. Yesterday I came back at a gas station. It was a cat. When I had a territory and I had the Bona van, I would always bring cat food or whatever and leave some cans in the car. I got tired of seeing cats at gas stations in the middle of the night. You could ask what I'm doing at the gas station in the middle of the night, but that's my business. But when I I'd see a cat or whatever freezing outside or whatever. I don't know why we don't treat our animals any better in this country, but I always bring cat food in. And I was at Redding, California, Sunday night about 1 a.m. Yep, it was a late night. Coming back from fishing. Holy smokes, was it a good trip? But there was a stray cat, and had to go back in there, bought some milk and some food for it, and left it out. I don't know if it got it or not. I hope it did. But anyhow, I don't know why. Why did I get off on that tangent?
Because I said you're a sucker for
yeah,
stray animals.
I am a sucker for stray animals.
And,
Yeah.
and when did this happen?
Last night, about 1 a.m, I was going to only fish a half a day because it was a Sunday and I had a 5-hour drive ahead of me. I was only going to fish a half a day, but I had maybe the first or second best fishing trip of my entire life last weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you by yourself?
No, I was with my oldest longtime fishing partner. Yep. And we got along this time.
So you did good.
We caught 72 fish in 2 days. And the best 5 on the second day was almost 28 pounds. That is going to win most fishing tournaments anywhere in the world, in the country.
Holy mackerel!
Yeah, there was almost a 6-pound average.
Jeez.
That's insane. Yeah. So anyhow, we really got off track, and I'm sorry about that. It's
that should be the name of the show. Off Track with Wayne and Rob.
No. All right. What else is on your weird list of gratefulness?
Well, yours is puppies, and I'm very, very thankful for my nose purge on my snorkeling mask. Changed my life.
Your nose purge on your
nose purge. Yeah, what
the hell is that even?
Scuba. Your scuba mask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, right? The mask you're wearing. Well, when you're snorkeling and stuff, you're breathing through your mouth, but you also will breathe through your nose. And it constantly, even if you're using fog stuff on the glass, whatever, they always get steamed up. And then a few years back, a guy turned me on to, you got to look for one that has a nose purge. So when you're breathing through your nose, it goes out the front of the mask and doesn't fog up your mask. Now I could stay under for hours and hours rather than for maybe 15 or 20 minutes where I'd have to come up, clean the mask off. So I'm very thankful for nose purges on your scuba masks.
I would actually like you to teach me how to do that one day. I've snorkeled for 25 seconds, and probably that's an exaggeration on the length of the time. And 3 feet of water, I went down there and somehow I got water and I threw the whole thing off, never found it again. And that was the end of my snorkeling career.
I've been snorkeling since probably 5th grade. My Uncle Pete up at the family lake up in New Hampshire, he taught me how, and man, I was hooked ever since. I will teach you how to snorkel. You and I will get together and I will teach you. I have taught, I bet, I'm not exaggerating, I bet I've taught 30 people how to snorkel.
Yeah, seriously. We'll talk about
that. My kids, when we go on vacation to Cape Cod, my kids would bring their friends and everything, and I always had masks and fins for whoever was coming I had Master Finn's snorkel set for you. Give you a little 15 or 20-minute tutorial on how to do it. We used to go to this beach. Well, we always go to this beach called Seagull Beach. It's on the bay side of Cape Cod. You're still in the ocean, but you're not getting the crazy waves. So snorkeling is nice. You know what I mean? And there's lots to see, a lot of crabs, clams, all that stuff.
Do you start by like standing in the water and holding your arms out, and I lay there in your arms like, and you hold me up?
Oh,
Is that
absolutely.
how it works? Okay.
Yeah. Well, first I'm gonna, with the cancer and stuff, now we got to be careful.
Yeah, exactly.
And you being you, I'm
Mhm.
gonna have to, make sure that you're properly, what do they call
Insured?
it? Suntan lotioned
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Mhm.
Then we'll hit the water and I'll hold you.
Perfect.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
All right. The next thing I'm grateful for, one is super grateful for the relationships I have in this industry with our customers and our distributors. And look, I'm sorry if you came with a crappy list. All right. You should never go first. You know that.
I thought we talked about this was going to be a goof.
I didn't say it was going to be a goof.
I guess you did not. I walked right into this one.
So, and I know you feel the same way. Our customers, our relationships across this industry. I mean, I am so blessed and fortunate to have the friends that I do that have come from working for Bona and being in the flooring industry and just the best industry with the best people, hardworking people, honest people. So I'm super grateful for that.
I'm going to lump on here with you, and yesterday we had a tragedy strike in Waukesha. And I got up this morning and texted a couple of friends that I have in Waukesha through relationships that I had when I was with Bona Sport. And it wasn't, after a while, the relationships that we have with these people, they never felt like customers. They always felt like friends. You know what I mean? Like, and as soon as I heard Waukesha, all I could think of was, my God, I got some really good friends out in that area who were their community people, and I spent a lot of time in Waukesha when I was working Bona Sport, and Waukesha is a Norman Rockwell painting, and the people are like that. I mean, just some of, you hear about the really nice Midwestern type people. Let's face it, New York. Okay, first time you meet New Yorkers, they're a little standoffish. Okay, they can be a little rough. But the thing about New Yorkers, once you're in, once you get past all that, couple of times you got to get in there, and then they treat you like family. Okay, Waukesha they treated me like family from the first 5 minutes I met a lot of those people and did business with, and ended up being friends and everything. So, tragedies strike all over, but I really felt that one because I spent so many great relationships and so many great times in Waukesha, and my heart just goes out to them. Our thoughts and prayers are with everybody in Waukesha. Thank God the friends and people that I had in Waukesha, they're good. They're just, everybody's very upset and everything with what's going on, but just want to throw out thoughts and prayers to those people in Waukesha. That was just horrifying.
Absolutely. Okay, so you want to go with your next one? Feels pretty silly now, doesn't it?
Oh, doesn't it though? But I'm still gonna go hoodies.
Right?
Hoodies. I'm very thankful for hoodies. I'm a hoodie guy. You know that. Like my hoodies. Very thankful for hoodies. Yeah. Not only am I a hoodie guy, but I'm also I like cutting the sleeves off of my hoodies, and I was doing that way before Bill Belichick was doing that, cutting the sleeves off. So I think he might have seen me someplace, and he kind of stole that fashion statement that I invented.
Hoodies
Hoodies.
is on your list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Very thankful for hoodies.
All right.
Remember, I thought this was going to be like a, I can't wait. And
Yeah.
I can't wait for this next one from you. Please lay it on me.
Actually, this is pretty mild. Actually, music. I think in my top 5 things in life, that music is in that top 5, maybe in the top 3, at least the top 5. And I'm always searching for new music of all different genres. My friend that I fish with found a flash drive of somebody put together like an incredible music. He's not really my friend listens to music like dogs eat. I've come to realize this. He doesn't understand the nuances of whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever. He doesn't any of those things, subtle things whatsoever. So anyhow, he gave it to me, and I feel so bad whoever lost this. I don't even know what state it was in. Would have no idea how to begin to, like, it'd be like finding a random thing at an airport with hundreds of thousands of people walk through every day. But it's an incredible list. So I'm super excited about that. So one of the best things in life, I think, is music for all different reasons. That's next on my list. So give me one more.
Well, I kind of had music, but I was a little more specific. But before I say it, so you say movie or music is third in your top 3?
Mhm.
Music is above movies?
Well, I'd have to say yes, because it's more constant. You can turn music on anytime. Movies have to be, it's very specific. Movies is very high up on that list. I mean, I'd probably go like on the best things in life.
Top 10?
Oh, easily top 10.
Yeah, because I understand what you're saying. You can't just drive down the road and listen to a movie.
Right.
But I don't know. I got to think about that one because but I didn't have music, but I did have very grateful for AC/DC and Charlie Daniels. So it's kind of music, but not as deep as you.
Yeah.
So you're killing me. Did you ever watch SCTV?
No, I don't think so.
Second City Television.
I know of it, but I don't recall.
I think it was called SCTV.
Sounds
familiar. It was out of Canada, I think. John Candy was on it. A lot of.
I got a public service announcement when you finish this, but go ahead. Yes. You hear the phone ringing in the background?
No.
Okay, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But go ahead.
So, anyways, they used to have like they do the nightly news. They had a skit like that, right? And they had 2 news guys. And one news guy, his story, tonight's story, and he'd be talking about, Mrs. Smith, cat and muffin stuck in a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go to the other guy, and his news story was, Capitol building invaded by, and they kept going
I got you.
back and forth with,
one light.
Johnny Small won the spelling contest, and then this guy would go, talking about Chicago's on fire.
Right.
And the guy who was getting the crappy stories, he started making up stories.
Yeah.
So that's what this show is starting to feel like for me.
Yeah.
But
sorry.
We're just don't worry about it. We're gonna keep plowing through.
Okay. I'm gonna tell people that phone just rang downstairs. I'm in California today. We're taping the show. I'm traveling out here for 3 days, and rather than spending money at a hotel, I stay at my mother-in-law's house. And because I don't spend much time with her, she's 91 years old. And for people who have adults, older adults in their life, grandparents maybe, this has been very interesting to me, because yesterday, in 4 hours, she had 7 calls, people begging for money. Solicitors from I won't name the organizations. I'm so mad at some of these because they're legitimate organizations.
Strangers or people she knew?
No, I don't want to name the organizations, but people from different organizations, charity organizations that are asking for money. And a lot of these people prey on older people because she won't tell anybody no. If you call up and ask her for money, she's going to give you a check. That's just the way it is. And literally the phone rings nonstop while I'm here. And they've had to finally take the checkbook away from her, and she has Alzheimer's. And so be aware if you have older folks, older parents. I didn't realize that's a thing, but some of these people are calling every day from what you would think are legitimate charity organizations. But so anyhow, sorry to throw that in there, but that phone just rang again, and I know that's what that call is for.
That is a great public service announcement because when my father-in-law passed away, my mother-in-law was giving anybody and everybody a check. She was getting fake bills and paying bills that, oh my God, I didn't know about this credit card, and it wasn't there. And man, she was just sending out checks to anybody who was asking for it.
Yeah.
It was pretty upsetting. But this does remind me, I guess you know what? I'm going to be thankful for this. And it's going to sound weird. It's not that I'm thankful my grandmother passed away, but when my grandmother passed away, my grandfather living just outside of Boston, for a few years, he was still, living by himself. So whenever I was working anywhere within the vicinity, hour and a half, if I could be that close, I call him up. I say, "Hey, Grandpa, I'm in town. Can I, spend the night, spend a few nights with you?" And you grow up. I grew up. He was my grandfather, so I've known him since day one, right?
Yep.
But when my grandmother wasn't around, and when she was around, it was like they were a couple. So yeah, you can talk a little bit, but when she wasn't around, I heard some of the most amazing stories of our family, of the history. I know I've told that story the first time that he saw a gas-driven drum sander when they were out scraping, those are some of the best days of my life. The best nights of my life was, hearing all these old stories from my grandfather who lived all this stuff. He was there and everything. So it just the only reason I said that was because they were great days that I got to spend with them. And you saying that you're staying with your mother-in-law, that just reminded me of staying with my grandfather. So
well, I don't know where the hell we're going with this show now, but
things we're thankful for. Like I said, I wasn't thankful my grandmother passed away.
Yeah.
but I was thankful with that one-on-one time I got with my grandfather.
Which, by the way, this was what I was going to say, is that would be a great idea for someone to record these people, their thoughts and everything as they get up into their 70s and 80s and 90s about their life, to pass on to their other family members. You'd like to know what happened to 3 generations back, some dude, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure the Johnson family, probably not a lot there. Probably not much to talk about. I don't know. But I would have thought it would be pretty cool if I knew, what my great granddad thought about and what he did and what his life experiences were, right?
Absolutely.
I think
the stories he was telling me and it was great because it was like a couple a night. You know what I mean? We'd be having supper and then hanging out, just watching TV but really just talking. You know what I mean? And he'd see something on TV and it would remind him of another story. And oh my God, you just sit there starry-eyed listening to these great stories from the old timers.
So I won't have any grandkids. So I'm going to pay some kid when I get to be about 80 to record my life stuff. $10 an hour and have them write stuff down about me.
Okay, you know what? Okay. If you need them, you can borrow mine. They're fun. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be all right.
You like pets, right?
Yeah.
The best part of my day when they're over here is standing up on the deck, cooking at the grill, and watching the four of them. It's like watching monkeys running around, chasing each other, jumping on each other, playing dirt.
So,
food. I mean, it's
you
hysterical.
you had a moment there. You missed it. See,
Uh-oh.
you just missed a moment. You were going down a great path, but then you said they look like monkeys. I thought you were going to go, and that's what I'm grateful for. When I look out there and I see them 4 kids out there on that deck that I built, that my wife and I, Pauline, that we spend time on and cherish our family. We danced the other night on that deck that I built. That's what I'm really most grateful for. And thank you and good night.
No, I'm
But
grateful for
I'm
grateful for hoodies and
Yeah.
watching the kids run around like monkeys.
All right. So I think we've gone on long enough. This is a silly episode we have, but really we do want to say we're thankful for, you know, Thanksgiving and what have you. And Rob, I'll leave you with this. I'm thankful for you.
You know,
go have a nice day.
Everything in life is timing.
Yeah.
And mine is just way off today, man. Way off.
That's all right. I never go first. That's the lesson here. All right.
Hey man, enjoy the holiday. Everybody out there, you work hard, take a couple days, pump the brakes, take a break, man. You all deserve it.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for our listeners too. I mean,
yep, absolutely.
The emails, the texts, the walking into schools and people coming up to me saying, "Where's Wayne?" I just
you see I'm at the clinic.
But
you don't know the other side of Wayne. Yeah, he's probably at the clinic.
It's pretty awesome that that the people that I talk to and contact us and send. I mean, everything that you guys send us, emails, texts, and everything. Wayne and I just can't wait to share it with each other. I mean, it's just
that's the truth.
We're really thankful for that. I think. I mean, it absolutely makes my day. You know.
Yeah.
When people say, "Man, I was like I think one of my favorites was when the guy said, when you guys did worst jobs ever." And it was 2:00 in the morning, and I was thinking to myself, "This is the worst job I've ever done." And that was the podcast that came up, and he said it just made his night. So, awesome. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Enjoy your holidays off, I hope. And this has been another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. Please stay tuned for another episode.